Hi, welcome to Demo Garage. I'm Steven, and in today's episode, I'm going to be recovering these Miata seats. Hopefully I can make these things look a little bit more period correct. I've gone with a black vinyl. So I've got a box to open. Let's go see what that looks like. Okay, so I've got this box. It just came in from Amazon. Everything comes from Amazon. And it should be my seat covers. So these are going to hopefully be a pretty nice fit on those Miata seats. And we shall see. Yeah, these are definitely the seat covers. And I went with the black vinyl because I figured that might help make them look a little bit more period correct rather than a cloth. But yeah, we'll see here. If I can get it out of the bag. All right, here's a look. So this looks like it might be the bottom. Yeah. So yeah, just kind of a, hopefully this will be a nice fit. And just a black vinyl with some details to it. So yep, I'll bring you back when I have the seats out. Okay, got her up on stands. Next thing to do is get under there. Getting old. All right. So here's what the seats look like. They're just bolted through. This is what the previous owner did, and I haven't made it any better. Eventually, I plan on putting the original seats back in. So for now, all I've done was upgrade the washer situation when I bolted it back in after a previous going after projects. And so it's the seats balanced a little better, but yeah, so I'm not gonna bring you along as I loosen these the hardware and take the seats out. It's pretty self-explanatory. So there you go, I'll bring you back. Okay, so I've got the driver's seat here. This will be the first one I try. So this will be my guinea pig. I am noting that there was probably at some time a plastic cover over this side. This would be against the shift tunnel. So yep, that's just what I found. This side has the plastic. So the first thing I'm going to do is try and figure out how to separate top and bottom by removing this plastic piece. And once I take a quick look at it, I'll bring it back. Okay, so maybe too much detail here, but I'm going to go ahead and remove this screw and this screw. Both of those are Phillips, and see what's underneath them. Okay, so these two screws were all that was required to get that loose, but I am needing to pry this off, and I wanted to show that was easily pried off with just a screwdriver. I'll bring it back. Just wanted to point out a little bit on the bottom here. I don't know that this is factory Miata, just a wire connecting the two together, but probably doesn't need to be anything special. Maybe a little bit of rust treatment to be done on this bottom pan. I've went ahead and folded this forward to take as much load out of that torsion spring. And then I always kind of wondered what this little harness was about. Don't have any power settings, so I guess this is probably speakers in the headrest that I didn't realize it had. So I'll find out about that when I get this slip cover off. Okay, it looks like I exposed a couple more bolts here. This cover was on, just being held on with one screw. So now I've got all four there. Guess I should check the other side and see what that looks like. So I changed my mind on the direction here. Instead of pulling this hinge bracket off, I'm going to go ahead and pull the two rails off. You can just see one of the 4 screws, 2 per side. Currently this slide is forward and I have access to it, and I'm assuming that if I slide it back I'll get access to the fastener in front, and then it's probably going to be real similar on the bottom. So let me go ahead and use this 12mm socket and pull that guy off, and I'll bring you right back. Okay, so that came off pretty easily, although these 4 were very tight. This is a 14mm socket. I'm now left with a split here and unsure what to do on the far side. So let me flip this thing over and see if I can't figure out what's going on over there. Okay, so now as I inspect this, I didn't even recognize this as a Phillips screw with the white paint on it. So this is, and then I guess this was some sort of a plastic piece, and it looks like it's broken here. So I'm just going to pull that Phillips off and probably get access to some sort of hardware. I'll bring it back. Okay, so that was easy peasy. It was just a single little Phillips, and then this was a plastic bushed part that it was just a pivot point, and that would push in if I had some dexterity at the moment. This appears to be a plastic covered metal piece, and then it just pivoted on this pin. So far I don't know how to take that off or if I need to, but I think I'm going to start with the bottom pad first. I'm going to pull the top, make myself some room, and then I'll start exploring how to take this cover off. I'll bring it back. Okay, so far after my inspection, I'm finding this thing is held on by probably just hog rings. So I'm going to go after them with this clipper. Looks like on the front I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe you count that one 5, but you might count it on as a side piece. So I've got side pieces 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Let's see, this would be the side closest to the door sill, I guess. Then I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the back. If you consider these on the back, I don't know. This is the side. But by the way, that plastic piece just slipped right off the top. This is doesn't appear to be removable. And then not only do I have these hog ring pieces on the side, but it looks like I've got 2 at this location as well. I'm going to take some still photos, so if I end up taking a week or 2 to get this done, at least I'll have the still photos to remind me where to put it back. And I don't think my new covers have these holes in them, so I will probably be replicating these hole positions in some fashion. Yeah, yep. Let me go to town with the clippers and get all those hog rings off, and I'll bring it back. Okay, so I have all those hog rings off, and for the most part they basically went through raised portions in the pan like this, but I wanted to show a little detail. This one went through here, this one went through here, and then a similar situation on the back. We have the front and back going over, and then the sides covering. I'll bring it back. Okay, let's see if we can get this cover off. Just gonna try and kind of pry it back in the corners. Looks like, I don't know if these are, yeah, these seams are sewn together, so they're seem pretty tight, but you can kind of roll it off here. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Doesn't look like I missed any hog rings. And, but I have. Okay. So it looks like, get this corner off here. That can probably come later, but it looks like I've got some hog rings holding down these two edges in here. So, oh yeah, there we go. I don't know, can you see that one? I don't know if I'm gonna hold you here for very long. Let's see, how many are there? Here's the second. Yeah, there's a wire actually buried in the seat cushion, and this is coming off okay. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and end this clip, and I'm going to get these out, and I'll bring you back. Okay, so bringing you back for another clip. This was actually pretty tough. This is easily going to be the most difficult part, putting the new one back on. There was a series of hog rings holding this seam down, and I've successfully removed them in all these areas, only to find that it's hog ringed in these two transverse directions as well. I don't know if you're going to see that, but so I'm going to stop the clip again as I get these guys out, and I'll bring you back. And I've got this cover off to show you what the seams look like. I'll bring you back. Okay, this is going to be fun putting the new one back on, but so there was I think there were 3 hog ring connected onto this flange that fit down into these two grooves, and then I think there were 6 per side on the side ones. But I finally got that off, and the foam's in as good enough condition that I don't intend to do any changes to it. Let's see if I have anything to treat the rust with. Again, I'm not planning on keeping these seats forever. I'm going to recover my original 1970s fabulous TVR seats, but I should probably do a little something with this. So yeah, let me think about my next step, and I'll bring you back. Okay, so my next step is I'm going to strip the cover off of the upper part, and quick inspection, I have found some hog rings here, and got a zipper pouch here. So I'm going to undo both of those and then explore a little bit more, and I'll bring you back when I know what to do next, because I don't have a clue after that. Okay, so here's what I found. I got this unscrewed, and sure enough, there is speakers in here, and there's kind of a hard back plastic. I don't know if exploring this anymore is the right task. I have removed the hog rings that were here. So this corner was just kind of like tucked up underneath, like this one. I haven't pulled it out yet, but I can kind of pull this corner out. Actually, looks like it might go over this pivot. Yeah. So that hole went over the pivot, and then this one got drug over it. Oh, and I forgot a hog ring still. But so I need to get that one out. But I think I think what I have going on here is, yeah, now that that's loose, I think I need to explore this middle section. Oh, look at that. Oh, there you go. Wasn't expecting that. Okay. So now it looks like this foam is separate. And I got some hog rings in here, and then maybe none here. So I am going to go ahead and pull these hog rings. It looks like 3 per side. And then the one I missed in there from below. And that might be it. I don't know. I'll bring it back when I know more. Okay, wrong again. So I've got this part off of this flappy foam. And then if you pull this up, then you can expose some more hog rings. This thing's all put together with hog rings. So I need to delve into both sides here, get these hog rings out, and then I'll bring it back, see if there's anything else I'm missing. Okay, let's see if I've gotten all of these hog rings out. So this was wrapped around this guy, and these were tucked down into there. So let me see if I can't roll this fabric off. I'm not really sure. So far, not too difficult. Okay. I think this wiring should have been into this groove, don't you? Anyway. Let's see, how does this go? Did I miss another hog ring in here? If you guys don't have clippers like this, you got to get them. This would not have been easy. Yeah, these are just cheapo 8-inch clippers, Amazon. And yep, missed one over here too. Okay. Boy, I need to make sure I watch this video, at least the clips, so that I know how to put this thing back together. This is like, these were in here, like right in this very upper corner on both. Hard to see, and I gotta imagine these are gonna be hard to put back in. Let's see if I can. This is really tight in there. Get that one free. There might be 2 hog rings. Yep, there were 2 hog rings on that one. I wonder. Okay. So now look. Is this even attached? No, that's not even attached. Okay. So that's going to make things a lot easier to put these hog rings in. And it looks like there's a few more. So I have, looks like 3 more to do. So now that I know this removes, and you can benefit from my experience, that's going to be a lot easier to get in here and put these hog rings in. So yeah, let me go ahead and get these out, and I'll bring you back. Okay, so I got those last 3 hog rings out. So now it's just hopefully just a matter of stripping this the rest of the way off. No, no. What do I have going on here? Okay, and I'm coming up into the area where the speakers are. Let's see if I can, I don't know what the deal is here. If these are also hog ringed. Okay, it looks like I've got some wiring. So the wiring for the speakers, red and black, is coming from this one, and yellow and white coming from this one, and they are in this groove, and then this is the point where it makes it through a hole in the back. So how do we remove this part? That is a great question. I think I'm going to keep stripping the fabric off of here, but I'm kind of stuck. I don't know what to do. Yeah, yep, never mind. I found 3 more hog rings. These are going to be tough to get. I'm going to stop the clip and just do them, and I'll show you later. Okay, once again, I think I've got the final 3 hog rings out. It was this flap right here, located in this last section. And boy, this is going to be fun putting back together. I know I keep saying that, but all right, all right. That must have been the last 3 because it's off. I wonder how well my inexpensive covers that I purchased are going to fit. But so here you can see the speakers, this final location of Hog Ring pliers. So yeah, guess I'll try and clean this up a little bit and maybe start exploring the fit and finish of the new covers now that I have a new affection for the old. I'll bring it back. One of the first things I did was I tucked all that extra wiring into the slot, and since I'm not planning on using the speakers, but don't want to disable this for any future person that might own these seats, I've just tucked all this wiring into the slot and put a little piece of tape on it to keep it tidy. So now I'm going to take a look at the new material and see what I've got ahead of me. I'll bring you back. Okay, so I got the original fabric off, and I'm taking a look at the new cover. And I gotta say, I kind of like the material, and so far the stitching looks pretty good. And it's constructed a lot of padding and stuff inside. One of the first things I want to point out is that there is a variation on this side versus this side in construction. So I know I have the driver's side seat here, and the reason I know I have the driver's side seat here is because I put the wrong one on first. So I'm reshooting this section, but I didn't put it fully on, but I did start. So don't make that mistake. Make sure you've got the right cover for the right seat. And I wanted to point out that this installation of the original was like hog ringed everywhere, and that's the installation that you follow to put this one on, where this one has hard plastic in there to hog ring around. This one has pockets. You can see this pocket here, and it comes with a coil of plastic tube that you cut to the right length and slide it in, and then you hog ring around that plastic tube, and then you hog ring around the wire that exists in the foam. So that's all well and good, and through my inspection I see I've got pockets where there kind of supposed to be. There's one right there. And then I had a hell of a time getting the hog rings off for this pocket, right? That's the one that goes in here. But now I realize since this cover comes off, I'm going to hog ring it from this side rather than this side, and I'll show you when I get there. But through my inspection, what I have found is this is the part of the original seat that goes around that removable foam, and this one doesn't have it, just fabric. And that removable foam's got the wire in it, so I don't know why this one doesn't have a pocket in it. So I need to think about that for a minute, and when I come up with a game plan, I shall bring you back. Let you know what I'm going to do about that. Okay, so here's my game plan. I think I'm going to try gluing in this piece of coat hanger, smaller diameter. I'm just going to put a little bit of contact cement there and do my best to kind of roll this edge over it. And hopefully that won't screw everything up. I've got a piece of, hard board just to kind of straighten it out while I do this. But yeah, let's give this a shot. And it's going to be under the cushion, so if I screw it up, then I'll try and come up with a plan B. But yep, I'm just going to stick a little contact cement on there, let it tack up, put this guy in there, roll it over as tight as possible, and yeah, I'll bring it back. Nothing really to show you here. I'm still letting it dry, but you can see I just put a little contact cement on both the wire and that top edge, and I'm still letting it kind of tack up, and I'll do my best to kind of get this thing positioned right at the top of the edge of the vinyl, and then start rolling it over. I'll bring you back once I've done that. Okay, so that worked out pretty good. I was able to get a pretty tight roll on that, and I think I've got plenty of fabric here, hopefully, that it'll still reach where it needs to reach. I do think I'm going to let that dry for a day, so maybe the only thing I do this evening, I'm out messing around after work, I think I'm going to do this side and then the two on the other passenger one, and probably call that a day. But I think that's going to work out. Yeah. All right, so the next clip you see is probably going to be me slipping this cover over the pad, and yeah, start putting it back together. I'll bring it back. Okay, so that worked pretty good. It's been a couple days since I put this in, and feels pretty solid, and yeah, I think that's going to work out good. But for the rest of the pockets, like this one, I've got this tubing, so I'm going to cut a piece to length, and I'll probably use a little glue, I don't know if I need to, just to kind of pinch off both ends so it captures the tubing in it. And I've got quite a few pockets in here to do, so I'll get to that, and then I'll start pulling it over the form there. Looking forward to getting this on and seeing what it looks like. I'll bring you back. Okay, so here I am. I've got this cover slipped over the foam now, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to hog ring this pocket. There it is. So I've got the plastic tube inserted in here, and rather than coming in from this side like I did last time, this cover is off. So I'm going to go ahead and hog ring in the 3 pieces, and set this detail, and maybe I'll go in and get Sako to help videotape that and show you how that worked out. Bring you right back. Okay, I got Sako's help with this one because I just don't have 3 or 4 hands. So this is the size of the hog ring that I've chosen, and there's like a little spring in these things to keep them closing, and I'm going to position it in here, and they just kind of hold itself. Now, I didn't take the old hog rings out of this one because I didn't realize that that cover was removable. But now that I know that that cover is removable, I'm reinstalling this clip from this side rather than from the inside. So I've got the plastic tube in this pocket right here, and the plan is to get the hog ring over this, and then there's a hard wire right here. So I'm going to get the hog ring, and then I'm going to try and grab both wires and then go ahead and close these together, and then the 2 wires are hog ring together. So here we go. I've got, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. I'm just kind of going by feel. And let's see, did I get it? Let's see, I definitely got this one. Yep, I got both wires. I got this one right here and this one inside. And I've actually already done the middle one. I don't know if you can see, there's the middle one. And then I've got this one right here. So bam, this difficult one is done. I'm going to do a little better job of pulling this material down so this is taut. And then I shall be moving inside and trying to get some of this stuff done. But I'm going to do that off screen. Here's the other pocket with the plastic in it. So this circular pocket is going to be hog ringed around this wire. And then, let's see, I don't know if I remembered. Yep, so I got the plastic wire in this one, which gets put here, and I got the plastic wire in this one, gets hog ringed here. And then this one gets hog ringed around that removable center section. So let me get a little bit more done and I'll bring it back. Okay, so I ended up getting 5 in there. You can see this one okay. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that. We got one there, one there, one there, and then one in this corner too. Yeah, there we go. I think you can probably see the 3 in there. So I'm gonna try and massage this down a little bit, and then I'm gonna switch to these sides right here. So these sides are going to get pulled down, and they're going to be hog ringed in this side, and then of course the other side as well. So let me get to that and I'll bring you back. Okay, so I got both sides hog ringed in, and I think I have 4 per side. Those are looking pretty good. I've got pretty good form. I've got a little bit of a wrinkle here. I still have this pad to put in, and I do think that massaging this around a bit and getting in some some heat and some sun and just sitting in it, I think a lot of that's going to go away. I'm pretty pleased with the way this looks. I like it. And yeah, so I think the next thing I'm going to do is test my new wires here and install this seat pad. And again, this gets hog wired in as well. And you can see I've got the base over there, the rust converter and paint on it. So hopefully by the time I'm done with this guy, that'll be dry and I can tackle the seat bottom. So let me bring you back when I've got something to show you. Okay, so as far as alignment, I have flipped this back and forth a few times, and I think I'm going with this arrangement. I've got this side done, so you're going to see me do the other side. On this piece, because I've got a smaller wire over here, I've gone with the smaller of the three sizes. This is the size of Hog Ring I've been using on everything else, and this one is the smaller of the three, like I said. So they just get put in here, as I think I've shown you before. And what I've been doing, and it's been working out pretty good, especially with this vinyl, but I was doing it with the foam too. I've been kind of piercing the material and making a hole, and I kind of figure out where that wire I need to capture is. And sometimes I miss, and sometimes I get it right. So let's see here. Okay, I can get this one started through that hole. And did I catch the inside wire? I did. Okay. So there's one in. And I am trying to put these wires back in the approximate same location. And did you guys see what I did with my piercer? There it is. It's hiding from me. Okay, so here's the second one. Needs to go in approximately here. Need another small one. Put that where I can see it next time. And through the hole I just pierced. And there's the wire I need to capture. Did I get it? Yep. All right, 2 for 2. Doing okay. And one more to put in on this guy. And trying to locate the wire I got to capture. And 3 in a row. All right. So let me see if I can tuck this back in. All right. That's looking pretty good. Oh, yeah. Okay. I like that. I might spend a little time massaging, maybe getting out here with the hair dryer. And of course, I've got a bunch of stuff over here. Might have to rewatch my videos to see where that goes. So I'll bring you back. Okay, something I wanted to point out is, so this is the flap from from this front piece, and it appears to be plenty long enough that I can hog ring this back and front together. So that's the way it's supposed to be. I do wish I had more material here, and I can't quite remember how this comes back together. I may need to, I know I keep saying it, I may need to go back to my videos to see what's going on here. There's no wire here for me to hog ring. Now it's been more than a week, and I don't quite remember. I've got little indentations here from hog rings, but that, I believe, was just the hog ring as these two pieces come together, not through anything back here. But I've got the same thing kind of going on as I keep stretching this. This is getting closer and closer for me to connect this edge with this edge. This one kind of makes sense to me. I can get this one in, and I can tuck this guy in. I'm pretty sure that's how that went, but I don't remember. I don't remember exactly how this one goes, and I need to work on it to get this one stretched a little further. So yeah, so I think this side in the middle, I'm not gonna have any problems. I gotta figure out how these overlap and I'll bring you back when I figure that out. Okay, so after reviewing the old material, here's what I'm going to do. This is the single pivot point. I'm going to go ahead and tuck this guy in so that it's double thickness going through the pivot. And then I'm going to eventually pull this taut, probably use maybe my soldering iron to kind of melt this vinyl. And then that'll leave me, once I figure out how to stretch this guy over, then that'll leave me this material to tuck into this pocket and hide all that. So that's what I'm doing with this corner. I haven't made a whole lot of headway trying to get this any closer. I will probably go with my third longest hog ring to try and bring these together. Yeah, I don't think this is that big a deal. It does seem a little insurmountable, but I'm still working on it. We'll see. But that's what I'm going to do with the flappy flaps. Okay, I got one clip on there, and there's no way I'm going to try pulling that any tighter. And I'm using this larger clip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a second one in here. So I punched a hole. I'm going to go ahead and crush this leg down. Basically going to just use this like a big staple. And then I'm going to put the vice grips on this guy. Maybe. And I'm going to do my best to try and hook it. There we go. And now I'm going to sneak in here with a pair of pliers. And I'm going to fold this leg in. Like that. And I'm going to call this as good as I'm going to get it. Like I said, I've got plenty of room, I think, to pull these two together. Actually, now this is seeming tight. Gosh, I might have to do the same thing on this side. So I'll bring you back on that. And then I'm just gonna tuck this vinyl in like so, and I can work on that a bit. But I think that'll lay better when I pop that hole in for the pivot. But you get the idea. And then of course this middle one is gonna go a long way as well. Okay, so now this is not fitting as good on this end, so I may end up having to do a similar situation, but that's how I got this side done. Okay, so I ended up dealing with this side exactly the same as I showed you over there. I got this side tucked in. I'm gonna go ahead and obviously leave that. I don't expect to need it, but I'm just gonna tuck it in. And now this has got the plastic tubing, and this is going to be relatively easy, just pulling and hog ringing this tube and this tube together in a few areas. And I think that'll be done after I get that in. So let me go take care of that and I'll bring you back. Okay, so I'm going to make another change here. I went ahead and put in a bunch of hog rings, and I wasn't real happy with the way that fit. It is just a little too loose, like a diaper or something, like some some stretched out tidy whities or something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shorten this guy, and having had some experience with recent success by putting in that wire, I'm going to go ahead and put some contact cement and kind of roll this up like that. And then when I go to hog ring it, it's going to be a lot shorter, and then this is going to be a lot tighter. So that's what I'm going to do, and I may go ahead and contact cement this and then transition back to the bottom while this is drying, so it'll be nice and set by the time I come back to hog ring this. So you may decide to do something similar on your project. So that's what I'm doing. Bring it back. Okay, so moving on to the seat pad. I've got a little bit of a rip here, and I've already hit it with some contact cement, and it's probably about set up. So I'm gonna just kind of bring this together, and I think that's gonna, when fully set up, probably be good enough. Again, this is gonna be temporary seat for me. Maybe I ought to consider putting another layer of foam on there. I might have something, but I'm going to let that set up. Next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and put this guy on, and there is a left and a right. This little opening here, I assume, goes over this. And I'm going to put this on and just kind of take a look at what it looks like, and I'll bring you back. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, this is gonna fit way different when I get all the hog rings and stuff in. So I think what I'm gonna do is kind of leave this part through the slot and peel this back, because I think I've got a row of hog rings to do on this back edge. So let me go ahead and kind of get that situated, and I'll bring you back. Okay, so that went okay. I didn't even screw up one this time. So I had to pull this off the back as well, but I'm still over the horn here, and I had a pocket right here, and it goes down into this area. And you know, it looks like the original had a row here, which I don't have in this one. So that's different, but I do have the pockets along the sides here. So I'm going to go ahead and put the plastic in those units and start hog ringing up the sides. And yeah, so let me go ahead and attend to those guys, and I'll bring you back. Okay, well, I run into a bit of an issue. I can see, based on kind of holding up the old fabric to the new fabric, not only do I not have this upper front one to connect into this pocket, but it looks like I won't have enough material to make it around the corner and attach it. I'm going to be short again. And so that's also confirmed by kind of the distance between, you know, this hog ring section and this length. If I compare the two, I see that the original fabric has got kind of this, I don't know what you call it, like trunk material. And I happen to have some trunk material, and this is thicker than this, but I think what I'm going to do is pull the 3 hog rings out of this guy and glue and sew on an additional amount of material that'll extend this a little further, and that'll help me get it secured around and cover the foam so you don't see it. So that's a bit of a bummer. I think I can no longer recommend this set of seat covers unless you've got some sewing skills, and mine are just good enough. So I'm going to go ahead and set up, and I'm going to cut some of this fabric, and I'll probably shoot a little bit of video clip of that modification. So I'll bring it back when I'm prepared to sew this guy on. All right, I'll bring you back. Okay, in this next step, you can see I've added this additional material. That should give me the length I need to fully install this. And right now, it's just basically spray glued on, but I pulled out the sewing machine so I can run a stitch along this edge and secure it even better. I think it's probably going to need it. So anyway, I haven't sewed in a while, so let me throw a quick stitch on this. This is really thick stuff, so hopefully my sewing machine can handle this. I can get the foot pedal situated. All right. Uh-oh, that wasn't good. This is pretty thick stuff. All right, now I'm going. It does not like it though. I think it's working. Boy, my machine does not like this. Looks like it got through it though. That was not pretty. But good enough. I'm gonna go with that, and I'm gonna sew the next one. I'll bring you back. Okay, another quick video clip here. The repair that I did right here feels pretty solid, so I'm gonna leave that alone. And you saw in my last clip, I got this extra material attached and sewn on. So now the idea is to reattach this, and I've only got this single flap here, which is going to get hog ringed in this section, and then I've got flappies on both sides, so that gets here and here. I have to make sure I can get this opening over that bracket, and I think you saw that I do not have a front flappy, the hog ring in there, but I'm going to install it without that, without adding it, and just call that a day, call it good. So let me get to hog ring and I'll bring it back. Okay, so I've got this all hog ringed in. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like five on this side, and this thing is positioned based on this one being hog ringed in the middle. Not even sure I can show that to you. Yeah. To be honest, I'm a little worried about this. I feel like this thing is shifted too far forward, but now is the time where I'm gonna kind of turn this thing inside out or outside in and pull it around and see what this thing looks like. I'm a little concerned that the positioning's all off. So yeah, let me get to that and I'll bring you back when I've got that thing pulled around the foam. Okay, I officially hate these seat covers. This is in the wrong spot. How am I gonna how am I gonna unscrew this? It's a little loose in the front, and this position is set by this pocket. And there's the original. Everything needs to shift back. I'm not gonna be able to pull that over. This pocket doesn't line up at all. It's too far forward. So the only thing I can think of is I am gonna take the hog rings off of this one and not use them at all. And then I gotta take the hog rings off of the sides and guess on how much it needs to shift back, and then maybe make a pin mark and I don't know, hog ring. Maybe maybe what I need to do is get this wrapped around the corners and maybe secure the back and then pull it taut and then start hog ringing up the sides. This thing sucks. All right, well, what I need to do is I need to pull the hog rings out, and I'm going to try and guesstimate how much further back it needs to be. So let me get to that. Okay, well, let's see. Forgot to turn on my lapel mic, or possibly ran out of battery. I shot a bunch of clips without realizing I wasn't capturing the audio, but here I have it pulled over, and I'm noticing that it's a little not to the correct shape. This new seat cover it's missing some shape. I probably could have added a little bit of fabric, but at this point I was a bit over it. Not a fan of these new seat covers, but as you can see, I've got the pocket positioned just about right. And since I shot this clip quite a while ago, I'm not exactly sure the content. So I think I'm going to flip it over here in a second and show you what I've gotten actually hog clamped. I've got maybe I don't have anything. Yep. So I guess I'm showing you that it was unnecessary for me to have sewn on this extra material. This was a total waste of time. I don't bother trying to break all this stitch. I end up just cutting it off. It fits just okay. I've pulled it back. I'm going to attach the hog rings to this back edge as I'm pointing out now, and then kind of stretch it forward by hog ringing in the sides. So you'll see me do that in the next clip, and it again doesn't have any sound. So you hear me rambling on. Maybe I ought to just shut up, but yeah, that's what's going on in this clip. Okay, so here in this clip you can see I have removed the extra material that I added, no harm, no foul, and I've got it hog ringed on the back edge to the stock locations that it was before, and looks like I've even gone over the sides and gotten them started as well. So I believe the next step is for me to kind of explore the inside and start working on those two seams, two pockets that I am going to use. Still such a bummer to have no pocket in the front and a misplaced pocket in the back. So that I don't know how many times I can say it, but I don't recommend this because of that. I guess I'm pointing out the nice contoured shape on the side, but you decide if that's important. Okay, the next step in making this more permanent is I've got the sides and front peeled back, and this is the progress of me working my way towards the front of the seat by hog ringing in the side flaps that I am using. And this is trial and error. It's hard to get into. You're going to find it probably frustrating if you're doing this project. I'd say I was successful in 75% of the hog rings I crimped. They either fell out or I crimped over the plastic reinforcement on the seat cover but missed the buried wire in the foam, and then ended up needing to cut it out and give it another shot. So I can't remember if I show any misses or not, but I did miss quite a few. Let's see if I get this one. You're definitely going to work on your hand strength on this one. Looks like I might have been lucky on this one. So I don't know if you can tell, but I was securing the seat as much as possible with my body weight and using my right hand to try and pull it taut, while I use my left hand to attach the hog ring. And I was in the end happy with my results. But it's a difficult process, and could help if you had an extra hand or significant other around to help you secure things. Okay, so that looks like I've gotten both those flaps hog ringed in, and it's time to fold this back around and start working on the front and the sides. Okay, yet another clip where I don't have any sound, and so narration time. I'm kind of working the material into the foam, and I've got it pulled over about as good as I can, and it looks like I might be adjusting the foam underneath the vinyl in an attempt to stretch the material to where I need to attach them. I don't remember this being difficult or not, and I'm basically following the same hog ring schedule that I found from the original fabric. So that's pretty well laid out. There's areas in the sheet metal floor pan that make it pretty obvious where to attach, and I'm just going to go after it, put it in the same places, and I think I've Okay, let's see what's going on in this clip. Looks like I've gotten a bunch of progress done. I've hog ringed around the sides and the front, and looks like I'm just kind of describing the process. Don't remember what I said. Looks like it's a little puffy there in the seat, but I do expect with some usage and some heat cycles in the sun, that'll probably conform a little better after some use, and doesn't look too bad. I'm still wondering if there isn't a better product out there. For the money, this is maybe still your option. I'll probably put a link in the description on which one I got, but purchase at your own discretion and after you watch this video, hopefully. Yep, I'm not sure I'm gonna say anything more important on this, so let me leave you to watching the rest of the clip without me droning on. Okay, back to the upright, and I think here I'm showing that the wire that I've installed in the back, shortening that flap, is probably set enough where I can go ahead and finish this installation. It's basically a matter of flipping it over and adding a few more hog rings, and that one will be ready to go. Oh, there it is. It's installed, and with the attachment of those final hog rings, I might be done with this seat for hog rings, but there's still other details and attachment and everything still to go. Pointing out the wrinkles there, and possibly with usage that'll go away as well. One other thing I need to do on this seat is there's that one pivot post that's sticking out the side, and I think I'm going to be talking about it here in a second. I should be picking it up. There we go. Now I'm feeling it. I'm kind of showing the pivot post that needs to protrude through that fabric. And somewhere along the way, I talk about I heated up my soldering iron and just kind of melted through. And that did a really good job of making a hole that I didn't feel it was going to fray or unravel, and made a pretty clean hole. And I'm not sure if I have a clip doing that, but that's what I did, and we'll see if I shot a clip cutting that hole with the soldering iron. Oh, good. Here's a clip of me using the, well, it's a clip of my hand in the upper corner, but it's also a clip of me using my soldering iron to melt through the holes. And these are obviously where the pivot brackets attach. They do a decent enough job. And so this is the technique I use through the completion of the seat for the bottom tracks and the pivot on the side that I talked about earlier. And you can feel it through the material, so it was easy enough to find the right location. Just feel for the hole and apply the soldering iron melting through the fabric. Okay, that's one seat done. Driver's side is done. Doesn't look too bad. I'm going to give my effort on this one maybe a 7.5. It's kind of hard to tell, but the original material, at least on the passenger side, isn't as bad as it was on the driver's side. But I think the black vinyl is going to go with the classic vintage 70s British car a little bit better. So, yeah, there's one done, one to go. And let me try that magic thing that I see on the internet sometimes. All right, got the passenger side done. It had its own challenges, and this could be fitting a little better, but it was basically the same kind of thing. And I think that wrinkle will probably come out with some usage. They look about the same. I think they're going to look pretty good. And in that quick snap of my finger, I have also reinstalled the tracks. So now it's just going to be putting them back in the car, and I'll bring you back with another clip once I have them installed. Bring you right back. Okay, all done with the seats. Let me show you what they look like. There you go. Look at those bad boys. All reinstalled. Looking good. Digging the black vinyl. Passenger sides in. I think that's a much better match than what I had in there before. Yeah. Victory moment, and I'm thinking after a little bit of use, they might even look a little better. Well, that completes this episode. I'd like to thank you for coming along to Demo Garage. I hope you learned something because I know I did. And until the next video, bye.